When it's starting?
Of course, because I'm going to tell you.
Oh.
Stop talking.
Her Epiphany, and I'm Tina, your host. How's everybody doing today? Today, I have a legend here today, one of my legends. His name is Kevin Smoothflicks. Kevin used to be a photographer. He's the owner of an event hall, and he also DJs. So, welcome, Kevin. How are you today?
I'm good. Used to be a photographer.
Still a photographer?
That's right.
Okay, still a photographer. So let's talk about photography. Kevin used to mentor me into photography like 10 years ago when I started photography. And he mentors a lot of people. Let's talk about it. So, how'd you get started?
You know what? In DC, I used to sell pictures for $3, Polaroid pictures, and it was like
That's a long time ago.
yeah, $3. That's all it was. And
No, the Polaroid.
it was Polaroid got me into photography, and it was for the comedian Chris Tucker.
Oh, really?
Who was host parties in DC.
He's one of my favorite.
And it was at this place called the Oak Tree. And me and my buddy Walter would go to the Oak Tree every week to go do Polaroid pictures.
Right.
And one day he said, you know what? I want y'all to take pictures for the Washington Redskins at that time.
Okay.
And we shot pictures there for the first time, and they liked what they seen. And so from there, that's how I got into photography.
So is that how Smoothflicks began?
Yeah, actually it is. And well, I mean, in a way, because we started off being in clubs because, like, I always tell people that, the best people in the world is people of color, right? Because when they would take pictures and they be styling and profiling just on a Polaroid picture,
Right.
that's how I really learned so much about how to pose people, and everything. It's like my name Smoothflicks. I love telling everybody my story, how I came with the name Flicks.
How'd you come up with it?
It's an old school name. See, back in the day, they used to call pictures flicks. Man, they some smooth ass flicks you took.
Right.
And that's how I came up with the name Smoothflicks.
Okay. So how did you actually begin Smoothflicks? Like, far as working with other people, getting into weddings, clubs?
Well, when I got into photography, it was really from the Kmart store, and then the portrait studio, taking pictures in those portrait studios in Kmart, way before Walmart even came about.
Right.
So that was really one of my biggest jobs, working in the portrait studio in Walmart. And then I started working for this one company, how I learned how to do weddings. They was based out of Baltimore, but they were the largest wedding company in the state of Maryland.
Okay.
And working with so many different photographers every week, taught me how to shoot weddings, because I grew from being in the clubs to doing a lot of commercial work. It's like, I always loved doing commercial photography, but
So what weddings was your
wedding was my thing.
niche?
And
Yeah.
then, but then I took it to another level. I started doing retail stores and working in real estate. doing housing and all
I can
that.
remember when we did a wedding one time. I don't know if you remember, but it was a witch's wedding.
Yeah.
And I was so terrified. You was like, come on. And I didn't want to get out the car.
Yeah.
I was terrified. And then when we got in there, I'm like, oh my gosh, you like, take the pictures. And I'm like, these people going to put a hex on me.
Love is love.
But it was totally different from what I thought.
Yeah.
So I've gotten to, be around different cultures, different type of people
Mm-hmm.
doing photography with you. And that was just a moment which got me over one of my fears. So were there any weddings or parties or anything that, you had a little bit of fear, like, how am I going to get through this job?
No, never.
Yeah.
Because photography is not. Photography is art,
Right.
and I always knew I was an artist because I always told people it's different from me and a painter. I know how to use my eyes
Right.
to make art. A painter know how to use the paintbrush. So, in order to learn this craft of photography, you got to really go through so much, to find out which one that you're most passionate about. From still, like one of my biggest jobs I worked in the White House for a long time. And when I worked in the White House during the Obama years, I loved that I was shooting a whole lot of ambassadors,
Right.
different presidents from all over the United States. All over the globe. Just being at the NAR meetings and just seeing and meeting people from all over. But I always tell people my secret to my success is that I always still showed up at the smallest jobs.
Right.
Because, as big as I was growing in the commercial business, but what makes you successful is the small jobs.
Right.
Show up at those parties where there's no more than 10 people. Go to those baby showers when there's no more than 20. But like even though like I was big in the weddings, which I shot well over 700 plus weddings throughout all my years of shooting photography, I would like to shoot the smallest gig and then give the other photographers the larger jobs so they get their name out there. But and still be in the club selling pictures from $3.50 now to $10. But that works,
Right.
I remember when the first time me and Walter went out and shot a job doing selling pictures at 10. My mind was like, man, this is like small time to me. Like, I don't do this,
Right. Right.
And when I realized people was buying those pictures at $10, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. But I loved it because the money was so good. Oh, it was good money.
All night long.
Oh, man. And you know what? But because I was so big as a commercial photographer, I took pride in the photo paper. I took a lot of pride in the particular type of printer to print. So I wanted everything to be so true to colors that when our people buy pictures, they wearing the best gear. They wearing their Gucci and their
Right.
Louis Vuitton. They want to be able to see that detail and that fineness of their clothes and outfit. And I took so much pride in that people would buy these pictures up.
And it's also memories.
Yeah, and I was making thousands of dollars in a weekend selling $10 pictures. But also my commercial work, I would do one job that was I would make like $2,000 for half an hour. But that money out there and what made the Smoothflicks even more successful is that me and Walt, we was everywhere. Our name was everywhere. And my people made Smoothflicks what it is.
Right.
Because,
Not those big jobs.
Yeah,
right.
not those big jobs.
Right.
Those are just commercial jobs. But when you in those clubs and your name is flowing and social media got all, I mean, we got millions of pictures out there on social media. And you're in everybody's household, all the memories and all that kind of stuff. So
Baby showers.
whew, baby showers. Baby showers. I mean, but you just don't, and you don't have to overprice a person to do a job,
Right.
So because I remember, but I was so glad when digital photography came out with these cameras, which it came out in 2006.
Yeah. So how does it feel now that everything went from paper to digital?
From film,
Yeah.
from film to
How
digital.
does it change?
I loved it because one of the things about when you were doing film, I mean, I remember this one. Oh my God, it was a nice wedding. Dropped off the film to get printed, and then the print shop tell you, hey, your negative got melted inside the machine.
Oh my goodness.
And all these people weddings are like destroyed, and then it happened one time, it happened many times.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're able to see it and you're able to realize what you got in front of you, and it's all sitting on a memory card, I mean, I was glad when digital came out. But the only downfall about digital photography, everybody think they are photographers because everybody wants to shoot pictures with
Right.
the phone. They think they got it all down packed,
And it's not the same.
Yeah, they be asking me, hey, can you teach me photography? I said, you got a camera? No, I got my phone. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? You want me to teach you how to shoot picture with a cell phone?
Right.
Oh, hell no.
Because a picture speaks a thousand words.
And I said, well, you need a cameraman.
Right.
I'm a photographer.
Right.
I'm not no cameraman.
There's a difference.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
So, are you still doing photography now?
I'm gonna always do photography
Right.
till the day I die. I love my craft. I don't take it for granted. It's nothing like memories. It's like it's like when somebody called me that got married 20 years ago,
Right.
and I done their photography. I had a woman call me 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I did her wedding, and then she called me to shoot her daughter's wedding. I knew people that when I was in Kmart, they was children, and they asked me to shoot their wedding. It's nothing like memory, because because that's what photography is about. It's about memories.
Mhm.
From when we was kids to adults. Just the memories.
So, do they still do the pictures in the clubs like they used to?
Well, no, not really. It's like
Because that was a lot of money.
it was a lot of money, and I miss those days because I remember watching how cell phones took us out of business.
Right.
Because
so people used to come up to the backdrop, remember, and try to take the pictures with their phone.
Yeah,
You're like, no, you can't do that.
No, you can't do this.
Right.
Because and that's the problem was, again, people thought they was photographers with their cameras, and it's a different era. So you got to accept the fact that these young people, they don't know nothing about this. They, your cell phone, got 500, 600,000 pictures. And it's funny when someone's, they want to show me a picture, and they scroll through the phone, trying to find this picture to show me. And and I watch the money dribble down from when you make $1,000 tonight down to half of that, down to 100. But because I don't think they just not into the memories like they used to.
So you starting your business off, and you said weddings were your forte and what you chose, but you decided to go to the clubs to take the pictures. So is that how you kind of got your idea for what you do now, from being in the clubs? Did that help you to where you are today?
Well, how I am opening up an event center is somewhat. Well, I mean, my place look a lot like a club, but how I am going into it because going to so many people events, I seen that there's a lot of junk out here. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of places want to charge you so much money, and they really give you nothing
Right.
to offer.
Right.
I mean, Smoothflicks.
So the people that rent the places out, or
Yeah,
they
well,
pretty much have to come with their own stuff, and that, or is it just that the holes that they will rent?
well. How I end up going into the business, having my hall downtown. I wanted to open up because I've been to so many parties. I've seen
Right.
so many buildings. I've seen people take our money, and and they give us nothing.
Right.
They give us nothing, Tina. I'm telling you, they give us nothing.
And then rush you out the
Yeah,
door.
and they want you out the door. And we spend so much money with so much because we celebrate everything.
Yes, we
I
do.
mean, people of color celebrate when they get a divorce. They celebrate. They have a party for that 1 year old that's so big and fabulous.
Right.
I mean, they
Gender
go all out.
reveal.
Oh, we celebrate everything under the sun.
Yeah.
And a lot of these venues do not respect our money.
Right.
They want to take our money, and then they don't want to give us nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to offer you nothing, but they're quick to take your money.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot about the business because of going to a lot of these events. It's like they always say, hey, y'all like to start late. It's not that we like to start late. A lot of these venues, they want to charge you for that second hours for setup. They
Right.
want to charge you all this money for 3 hours. And it takes a lot of time for us to put our parties together because
Right.
we spend money on balloons, we spend money on this. You gotta wait for the
You
people
want the
to come.
party to be perfect.
We really put a lot of money out on our parties, and it takes a lot of time to put these events together. So when I would go to these other halls, I'll be sitting around reading and all that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
because people are still, setting up and they just don't have a lot of time. So I learned my do's and don'ts from what I need to do to make somebody party start on time.
So that's how Smoothflicks Hall has been
Yeah.
evented.
No, even like Smoothflicks
Event Hall.
Mhm.
Okay. Smoothflicks Event Hall. And that's how you came up with that idea. Now you've created another business
Mhm.
to where what is Smoothflicks Event Hall about?
Well, I always say, like I was telling this guy last night, it was a party in the building last night, and he was one of my customers who spent his money buying my pictures in the club. And he was like, hey, man. Or no, he said, Smooth Lick, I got thousands of pictures you took of me, man. I love them pictures. I said, but you know what my place is all about? I said, y'all bought this building. I said, all the years that y'all have supported me and all them $10
Giving back to the community.
I said, my hall is all about the people who spent a lot of money on me.
Mhm.
And I saved and saved and saved and saved. So and again, I think that, like I'm located downtown Baltimore, exactly 2.5 blocks from the harbor.
So what's the address?
It's 12 South Calvert Street. I'm
Okay.
between Ridgewood and Baltimore. But I wanted something for us
Right.
downtown because downtown Baltimore don't have nothing to offer you or me. But these hotels are so quick, again, to take our money, and don't got nothing to offer us. And then they want to nickel and dime you for everything. They want to nickel and dime you for everything that you want to have down there. And I wanted a space that, which it's an old historical building that I got renovated
It's beautiful.
in 2017. Thank you. And the building is actually called the Cadillac Building.
Okay.
It was built in 1905, And the reason they call it a Cadillac building because it was a dealership.
Okay.
And it was the first dealership that ever built in the United States, and they sold Cadillac cars. So, and when I walked in it, everything that people see that's in there, I visioned it.
Right. Right.
And the reason people think is a club because the way it looks, the sound system, the lighting, the special effects, but it's all about party.
It still gives off like that elegant vibe.
Yeah.
Somewhere you would put a Cadillac. How do you get those cars?
Well, see, think about it. There wasn't as many high rises. They probably had the inside could have been the showroom, and
Right.
outside could have been where they had the cars. That's the way I assume.
Yeah.
But when I got to venue, it was vacant for over 20 years. It used to be the old Redwood Bar and Grill from the 90s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I turned it into the event space.
So I've probably been in there before.
You probably have. Well, I don't know. You're kind of young.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you young.
Oh, okay.
You know
Thank
you young. You know. You know. But that's what it's like when the guys seen it from who used to have it as the Redwood Bar and Grill. They could share tears, because it was happy to see it was still black owned out
Right.
there, and I took.
We gotta support our Black-owned businesses.
Yeah, because and I get a lot of support because not only that we have a lot of birthday parties downtown, baby showers and weddings and all this stuff. I guess I get a lot of support from the mayor's office, from people from there, and folks from city councils, state's attorney office.
So they also throw events at your home.
Yeah,
Right.
everybody throws something in there, So it's it's my baby,
Right.
And like I said, when I first walked in the venue, there, everything again that people see, I vision it in my head, and it's to the exact, And,
So who can run it out, and what type of event can you have there?
Well, you can have any type of event, more it makes sense.
Right.
One of the things that I don't like when it comes down to event, I don't like kids in the building. I do not like kids. I'm old school. I'm 50 years old, and I'm like, this is for grown folks.
Right.
My place is really strictly for grown folks.
And you want people to take care of
and I want them babies to
right.
stay home, and as far as grown folks are having a good time.
Right.
Because when grown folks, see, back in the day, there was so much stuff to do downtown for grown folks, but it ain't like that now because the younger generation got so much other places to go to. But when grown folks come down here, I want them to have a good time. Leave the babies home.
Right.
This is the one day you leave them babies home. I don't want your 21. I don't even want your 20-year-old kid there. I don't want your 19-year-old kid there. You got to be old enough because we drink.
So, do you have like DJs come? You have a stage as well and a bar.
We have when it comes down to I got my house DJs, two of them, Kate Austin and DJ Wallace. Like Austin, they all independent contractors,
Right,
of course.
Right.
They come out and they do what they do, in case if someone don't have a DJ like my guy played last night,
You have DJs to offer.
Yeah, I got offered. Yeah. Well, my place is a one-stop shop because you can come to Calvert Street. You don't have to pay for a lot of things that other venues will charge you, because I include linen, centerpieces. My sound system, I want to be known to have the best sound
So the
system.
decorations are included in with their event.
Because when the outside DJ come, they only have to bring their laptop because
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have it, with the laser lights and all the stuff. You can bring in your own food. You can, with the bar, we already got the bartenders and whatnot, cleaning crew. I got my balloon person. If you want to get it personalized, we got people that will personalize it.
Awesome. You offer everything.
Yeah, I try to offer everything because I don't believe that you should just charge a customer for everything, It's like I don't believe in giving you 1 hour setup. I think people need 3-4 hours of free setup time.
Yeah, you also want them to come back.
Yeah, and when they get that free time to set up and everything, it allowed their parties to go off on time.
Right.
You know, because like you can have a party till 2 o'clock. We don't turn the lights on until maybe like 5 or 3 minutes till then.
Right.
You know, because being that Calvert Street is private, is never ever open to the public. Everybody have something and have to rent it. And just because it's private, we can actually stay open till 4.
Okay.
You know, the bar got to
That's a
shut
long
down.
time.
Yeah, the
Right.
bar got to shut down at 2 because you can't sell liquor. But you can continue the event till 4 in the
Yeah,
morning.
guys, that's 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
A.M.
Well, see, Baltimore ain't built to stay open till 4. Because for some reason, if you got a party at 2, people already go home at 2 o'clock.
Right.
Now, me, I can stay open till, I can stay up and party till 4.
Mhm.
But Baltimore folks, they want to go home. And they know they ain't going to no church or no Sunday. They want to be, but they
Some people go to
they
church.
be like, that's Smoothflicks. We want to stay up until 4 in the morning. Look, 2:30, they like, man, I'm done.
So you have 2 levels, right?
Yeah, I got one. My main floor could hold up to 250 people. My
Okay.
lower level, you know, even though the fire marshal gave me 150, I try not to take it to no more than 50 people for that particular floor level. But
The bottom floor
Yeah.
level.
yeah, because
150.
people got the option of renting either or they can rent the entire building. So
Right.
if someone now rent the entire building,
So how many people
can
can
do
you have in
400.
a building?
400.
400. Okay.
Mhm.
That's both floors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on both floors. Yeah.
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
you know, and like, and of course, you know, we can handle 2 different type of parties at the same time. And because if we got it where separate sound system downstairs as well as upstairs, or if they got the entire building, we do have sounds downstairs. Again, I'm trying to be known to have the biggest and the best sound system in Baltimore.
Okay.
And you know,
Good music.
and yeah, and you know, like I said, I love playing music myself. You know, I've been playing music ever since I was a teen.
Right.
You know, and I could tell you just one story. When I was in my 20s, before Frank Ski came to Baltimore, him and I was up for a job
Okay.
as because they was hiring either him or I to work on 92Q to be which was V103
Okay.
to be
Yeah, that's
their
when it first
to be
started.
their DJ. Yeah.
You know, I actually did a contest for them when you first came out and won.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Dancing.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
but this is the thing. Back then, I was on a dance show called Shake Dance on
Okay.
Channel 13, and I was dating this girl who worked at MC Record,
Mm-hmm.
and she set my interview up for V103 at that time because I was playing music, and I was always doing house music,
Mm-hmm.
and
So you were a DJ back then.
yeah, back then, yeah, when I was
Okay.
on dance show,
So what was your DJ name?
Devo,
Devo.
yeah,
Big Devo.
DE-VO.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and I didn't show up for the interview. And this girl, she was an intern at Channel 13. She got so mad because I went to Odell's. I got tore up, and I didn't feel like going to this interview. And it was like I said, it was between Fresky and myself, and I didn't show
You
up.
didn't go.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
she still ever spoke to me till today.
Oh my goodness.
And she was so upset.
But it was meant for you to go another route, obviously, right?
I don't know. I could have been a Frank Ski.
Oh, right. But you Big Devo.
Yeah, I was Devo. Yeah, I was playing too. But that's how it was. And a lot of people find that story surprising
Right.
because, you know, but that's how, and so I always had love for the music
Mm-hmm.
of house music. I was playing it from the 80s on up.
Right.
And so when the people hear me play, they're like really surprised. They'd be like, you play music?
So you went from being a DJ to photography.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you miss it once you got into photography, or you was like, you know what?
I didn't think no more about it. Because when I fell in love with photography, we lived, breathed, everything was about that craft. I mean,
Right. That was your heart, your baby.
I love memories. It's nothing like looking at you got a young son. Think about it. Look at those pictures
Right.
of your children and watch them grow up. You know.
You've helped me watch my kids grow up with all the pictures, you know, so it means a lot because I go back to my mother a lot.
Yeah,
Know?
and that's what it is about
Right.
photography. And when you're able to go back to those memories of you look at your children when they was, toddlers and then they become adults and then they start having kids of their own. And you start matching up the pictures to just that.
Yeah.
But even when I think about weddings, weddings are the best, and I just love my weddings, those memories.
Okay, so when we come back, we're going to talk about this event hall and some other special things that have came about in your life. So this is Tina, Her Epiphany. We're going to go off to a commercial. See you when we get back.
You know that story, didn't you?
Looking for food that feeds your soul? Hoodfellas Bistro and Catering is your local African-American owned restaurant offering American cuisine. Located across from the courthouse, we offer daily jury specials to reward civic duty. Enjoy our full-service restaurant and fully stocked bar. Dine in, pick up, delivery, and catering. Our themed happy hours feature live music, handcrafted drinks, and weekly specials. Book your private event at hoodfellowsbistrocatering.com.
Oh, that's your commercial?
Mm-hmm.
Good fellow, right off the street.
Yeah, this is. Thanks for tuning back in with us. This is Tina on Her Epiphany. And this is my guest today, Kevin Smoothflicks, aka Mr. Devo.
Yeah, let's just stick with Smoothflicks.
So we were talking about photography and DJing, and you got something special, you just gotten into another passion of yours. Is that DJing, I heard?
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's like DJing to me. It's magical because I'm quite sure some of if you got DJs listening or watching, it's so wonderful to create music. Because it's like house music. House music, when you're playing house music, it's like telling a story.
Mm-hmm.
It's really telling a story. And you got to know how to tell stories in your mix. You got to be consistent in your mix. And when you're blending a lot of this good music together, you got to know how to keep it here.
Right.
You can't drop it down. It's like if you're doing gospel mix, because a lot of house music have a lot of gospel, and you don't just go into gospel and then go into something else. You want to stay on that same track for like 2 or 3 different cuts and everything, and it's like magical because you just want to you what music comes with because if you're mixing some African music, you want to staying cut. If you're, like I said, you're going gospel mix, you want to go into the gospel sound, going to Caribbean sound,
So with
jazz.
house music, you can blend all different types of music together versus just sticking to R&B or hip hop, or you can actually bring in a bigger crowd with that as well, right?
Well, well, with the help of with radio nowadays, a lot of this music is now becoming mainstream.
Right.
Because I remember when house music back in the 80s was big in Baltimore, I thought. And then when club music came in, it kind of like set the music on the back burner. And then Baltimore went strictly into a hip hop type thing. And then it really ticked house music, put it back on the back burner again. But because we are millennial babies or baby boomers, it came back to Baltimore, and it's on the rise, because of mainstream. Because like if you listen to the 95.9 mix on Saturday nights, they do a big segment of house music, a lot of it. And now that when you go to the clubs are, they'll do R&B, they'll do some little bit neo soul, they'll do hip hop, of course, and some Baltimore club, and then they'll probably like do a half an hour house. And my age, or even a few years younger, can relate to it. And they start partying. Your hip hop and R&B always going to be the big crowd, but if you play some house and you got some 40 and older, they're gonna rock off that.
I remember house music because my brother was a DJ when I was with him, and he had all the records and his sound system and everything. He would play it in the house and have house parties,
Yeah.
So I remember that. Was I into it back then? Not really, but I listened to it. But now it's like I'm able to relate because I was used to hearing it. So
Well, it's a form of music to me. What made me fall in love. I mean, I'm not even from Baltimore. I'm actually from Charlestown, West Virginia.
Oh, really?
And people think that I was born and raised here, and I love Baltimore. I can't imagine going back home. But what made me love the music or house, because I didn't start off doing house. I started off doing, just regular R&B mix and some hip hop. But it's nothing like it, because if you love jazz, you got all this jazz. If you do like R&B, you got all this R&B. You got all these independent artists who just got all this. It's meant for everybody. It is truly. When I say the rainbow of correlation, I ain't speaking of gay. I'm speaking of a collective of all kinds of people of all kinds of different colors and everything, just joined together, having a good time. It doesn't matter if you got two left feet or whatever. As long as you feel in the music, it is there for you. And like I had a stroke back in 2021. And I remember that when I tried to get on the turntables, I couldn't combine my music together.
Right.
But as a recovery from a stroke,
it was
mixing
pretty much
music,
like therapy, right?
Yeah, it helped. Because a stroke is a brain injury.
Yeah.
And I could not combine two songs together for nothing. But I kept on practicing because it was a great brain, help my brain. And it helped me so much. And now it's like, I'm like loving it because I overcame the stroke, and the music helped me. When I play, you wouldn't think that, because this side of my body is injured.
Right.
But, when I'm up there, you don't know.
So it's kind of good that you have so many talents going on.
Yeah.
Because, they can all come in and help the healing.
Yeah, because like I said, stroke is a brain injury.
Right.
And with the brain injury, I taught myself how to drive.
Right.
You know, because I would tell people at the rehab, I said, when you should want to encourage people to drive because it's, you use your memory, you start being alert, you start doing things, and it helped me. Driving helped me, music helped me.
And this could be great motivation for somebody else
Yeah,
who's been through it and feeling like, I can't do anything, and I had a stroke, but you can come back from it.
yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this year will be my year where I can snap out of it 100%.
But take your time.
Well, first of all,
Right.
as a stroke, you got it. You don't got no choice but to take your time.
Right.
Because this thing moves
You gotta
slow.
heal. Right.
This thing is a slow process.
Right.
Ain't nothing gonna make you rush.
Right.
You can't rush. But as a brain injury, you just gotta exercise that brain.
Right.
You gotta, you can't watch court TV. Because you can't exercise waiting on what Judge Judy want to say next. You need to get out there and just do things and exercise that brain. And that what Calvert Street have done for me. I always tell people always ask me, I'm walking up and down the steps. I'm doing this. When DJs come in and ready to hook up and play, I'm sitting up on the stage watching them, making sure you got it right. I break my equipment down, put it all back together. I do that just because it's just an exercise, and then I time it to see how long it will take me to break things down and put it back together, just to see where my memory's at. And then I want to practice, and because I love practicing, it's like today I was sitting in front of my building today, and I was thinking about some music, and I was like, man, I gotta get on the computer. I gotta download this song. I hear it all the time at the hip hop clubs. And one of my DJs was playing it. I don't even want to say what it sounds like because I can't sing for nothing. Okay. And I can't wait to download this cut.
So maybe you could play that soon because we got something to announce.
Yeah,
what do you have coming up?
Well, for the first time, I'm going to do what we call R&B Brunch, April 30th on a Sunday. And this brunch.
And this is R&B Brunch on April the 30th.
April 30th, R&B Brunch.
At what time?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Don't cost nothing to get in.
Free?
Free.
Did you say free?
Hell yeah.
People love free, right?
Know. And guess what?
What?
You could drink for free.
Free drinks?
For an hour and a half.
Is it just drinks?
Some food too?
Food?
Yeah.
Drinks, food, free to get in?
Yeah, I got to feed them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I got to feed people.
And where's this event held at?
At my spot.
Where's it at?
No. Now there's a guy got a business called My Spot. So I gotta say at Smoothflicks.
At Smoothflicks Event Hall.
Yeah, it's at Smoothflicks on 12 South Calvert Street. Now, if you're looking at this flyer, so I got the host, Lil Black. That's gonna be, that's my main guy. He's my closer. And then you got Don Cooper.
So we have somebody that's doing R&B and house?
Yes.
Oh, we're going to put them together.
No hip hop.
Yes.
It's the R&B brunch. And it's for grown folks to have a good old time.
And it's free to get in with free drinks.
Free drink.
And free food.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
You going to be there?
Hell yeah.
I'm going to be there too.
Yeah, you better be there.
Yeah.
Wait, hold it. Let me be
I'm having an event that day too. You're going to be my host?
Hold on. I'm the host. I'm interviewing you this time. So, what you got going on at April?
I have an event coming up as well, and it's called Her Epiphany Live Podcast Show. It's the Secret Garden Women's Panel.
Women's panel?
Yes.
And who are you planning on interviewing?
Well, it's going to be a women's panel. I'm going to have a group of women, and we're going to talk.
Hold it.
Women talk.
Hold it. You said group of women?
Group of women.
How many?
You'll see. You'll be there, right?
All right, fellas. Y'all heard that, right? We need some dudes.
Come out and see us. Talk women stuff. Talk life relationships, business. So we're going to have a panel, and it's going to be from 2 to 4. So I would love to see everybody come out. You can go online and get your tickets. Cash App. It costs $12 to get in. Yeah.
And then, what starts at 4?
The Her Epiphany season finale celebration and
Smoothflicks, R&B Brunch.
So we want you guys to come out and support us, Black-owned businesses, getting out there. We're going to have a good time. We want to celebrate with you guys. So come on out.
Wait a minute. Now, I got a question.
What's that?
Now, how can people get a vendor table?
Oh, that's right.
That's
We
right.
need vendors. And vendors can get a table through me, myself, Tina. Call 443-362-9164. If you would like to be a vendor at this event, you can call me, and then we can set that up for you.
Wow, good.
Yeah.
Good. Now, y'all want to have music?
Yeah, we're going to have music.
All right.
Definitely.
Gotta have music.
Right.
Because we like to dance.
And who's going to be there again?
I got Lil Black.
Lil Black?
DJ Lil Black.
Right.
And then we're going with Don Cooper.
Don
Don Cooper is
Cooper.
going to be open. Now, I'm going to tell you something.
What's that?
We're going to start doing these R&B brunch every other Sunday.
Every other Sunday?
Every other Sunday.
Is this for the summer?
For the whole
the
entire
spring?
summer. I got it booked up from now, starting April 30th, all the way till the end of August.
Okay.
Every other Sunday. I don't want to say, well, could I say in advance who's the next DJ?
You can. It's your event.
So we got High Def on Mother's Day.
Oh, Mother's Day, ladies.
Hey, cheap way you can save some money. You know why?
Wow.
It's free.
It's free again?
Yeah. And guess
Oh, my
what?
goodness.
And guess what I'm going to do?
Free drinks and free food again?
Hell yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Y'all got to come out. Yeah. Especially Mother's Day.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the last Sunday in May we got DJ Twist.
Okay.
And and one of those Sundays I will be playing. And I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play hard.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
got that sound system.
So you got something to show us anyway coming up. We'll keep that a secret.
But maybe I'm hoping that you can stay on board with us and help us out with vendors.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
You got that.
it'd be a good thing.
Yeah.
Y'all heard it, right?
You got it on tape?
Y'all don't take it, all right? Don't hold me to it.
Definitely will. I'll be. It's a pleasure to.
Because it takes a team to do
Yes.
this thing on this type of level. And the thing is, the reason why I want to do it, and the reason I'm not even trying to make profit out of it, is because, see, again, these places out here, it's so fast to take our money.
Right.
I mean, it's so fast. I mean, yeah, I got bills to pay, but I mean, let's have a good time, grown folks. Because see, hey, Mr. Producer,
Yes, sir.
you remember back in the day when because we at that age, you remember, we all want to go home, don't we?
Yeah.
We get in an argument. Guess what I'll do? I'll still buy you a drink, call you up on Monday, tell you about yourself, right?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Keep it moving because
Yeah.
we still want to have a good time, and everything. And that's what it's all about downtown. And even though my venue looks like a club, but it is what it is. It's it's a place where we can all have a good time and celebrate these birthdays, these baby showers, these wedding receptions, and so on and so on and so on. I mean,
And have
I
good
gotta-
times together.
Yeah, I gotta
Forget about all the rest. Right.
I mean, my all-white parties, when people have all-white parties down there and they have these black ties, I already got the building booked up for some of these proms that's coming up, and
That's right. We have prom
prom
season
season coming in,
up.
and with the venue having those cathedral ceilings and everything, it just looks so good,
Right.
when people come out and they looking so beautiful,
Yeah.
And that's what I like about about our generation. When I say our, I'm speaking of 30 and 35 and older. They want to come out and dress in their best. You know, they don't want to just wear jeans and a white tee and
Right.
look like they had on this outfit on all day long.
Right.
You know, and they want, you know, these women don't want to look at you in these white tee. They want to see you in some slacks,
That's right.
a nice polo shirt, or I don't know why I say polo shirt. That's so cliche.
Damn.
But, you know, just a nice shirt, nice button down, some, you know, some hats and everything, and just have a good old time. And that's what my venue is about. And like I said, and being that it's not ever open to the public, well, which it will be in the 30th, because that's the first time I'm really going to allow the venue to be open to the public where people just walk in. But one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to look at you. If you look young, I'm going to sit back and say, listen here. I don't think this is what you just your grown folks.
Right. So
Yeah.
how can these people get in contact with you?
Easily. I had the same number for 25 years.
Okay.
410-419-7415, or email me at Smoothflicks, FLICKS, smoothflicks@gmail.com. On Yelp, you know, there's all, I mean, of course, Twitter, Instagram, all that. Twitter, I mean, everything is about Smoothflicks. You know, because Smoothflicks is not, I mean, I took it from Smoothflick Photography to Smoothflicks Enterprise because I got so much other stuff going on.
So now they can get in contact with you through Smoothflicks Enterprise.
Yes, yeah, that's what it is, Smoothflicks Enterprise,
Okay.
you know. And again, I love my city. I live in my city. Y'all have, Baltimore City have done right by me. They have done right by me.
Awesome.
You know, so everything I do is yeah, I mean, I do so much, you know.
Well, it was good having you here today, Kevin. Smoothflicks.
That is I.
Having an event on April the 30th from
Friday.
4 to 8 p.m.
And you start
R&B Brunch.
But you start.
And Her Epiphany Live Podcast will be on Sunday from 2 to 4 on April the 30th as well. And then the celebration follows. So we thank you guys for tuning in today. I'm Tina, your host, and this is Her Epiphany. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Visit ONFIRE-TV.com for live top stories, breaking news, and original shows.